Hey, how's it going? I'm gonna be teaching you how to throw the javelin. So basically the way it works is you start off with a slow run up, about probably a little bit faster than jogging pace. And then after that you go into a crossover. It's kind of like karaoke, except you're only crossing over the front. And then you go into something called a crow hop. It's a giant shuffle, except it's like kind of like a giant shuffle, except it's also combined with like the karaoke we were doing before. So it's like gonna be like that. Your back foot is crossing over really hard, and then your front foot should end up going forward, sort of point it out, and then you throw. All right, now I'm gonna demonstrate. Hold it is really, there's a lot of different ways you can hold it. There's this one where you put your finger on the index finger on the back, called the Finland way. There's this one. There's this one. Now this is the one that is probably the most common. That is my personal favorite.
And the easiest. It's going to be one that beginners are going to use.
Yeah, and it's the one that a lot of beginners should probably be using too. So basically you want your index finger sort of on the edge here, and the rest of it is sort of resting on the on top of the javelin, and then you sort of rest the rest of the javelin on your palm, and you kind of put your thumb on the side here just to keep it stable. And yeah, that's the way you grip a javelin. All right, Amory. So we're just gonna walk through it. I'm gonna have you sort of slowly go through it and show me your form, and I'm gonna correct you based on what you have. So
All right.
Go ahead. All right, so there's your crossover. Okay, so you gotta, so you didn't really do a crow hop at all.
Like this?
So it's kind of like that, except the last one is a giant, it's a giant crossover.
Like a giant bunny hop crossover?
Huge crossover.
Okay.
So the crow hop, you're pushing with your front foot, and it's like that.
wait, give me a second.
It's a little hard to, that's probably the hardest part, but once you have it down, so push off with your front foot and kick out your back leg at the same time while you're in the air.
Oh.
Pushing with your front foot, pushing off, and then you're kicking your back leg out, and then you step out, and this will be a throw, sort of a prime throw position. By this point you'll have built up plenty of power, and then you just follow through.
All right, so we're gonna do some fun, warm-ups, get your shoulders, rotator cuff, back warmed up. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna grip it however you want. You're gonna bring it over your head, like this, extend the hips, you're gonna pop them out like that, and you're gonna drive it straight into the ground. Okay, so the whole point of this is to warm up your hips and your, upper body region, and like that explosiveness. So you go like this, drive.
So we are going to teach another drill. So we're basically going to practice the crossover. So to practice this is probably the most crucial part of throwing the javelin, because it's it's the most powerful part of your run up. It creates all the power, and it's one of the deciding factors to how far you throw it. We're gonna have you literally practice crossing over. We're gonna have the sort of javelin out here. Probably if you're in a gym, you're gonna do that to half court and back or something, or like the length of the gym. And just keep practicing that. So that's probably, yeah, like I said, that's like one of the biggest parts of the throw. So.
We're gonna show you what javelin means, okay? In javelin, you have your run up, and then you have your crossover, and then you have your huge step. Okay, there's 3 parts: run, crossover, big step, throw. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you how to do the crossover. Okay, you're always going over, never behind. Always over, never behind. Now, it doesn't matter how many steps you take or how few steps you take, you're just gonna do whatever gives you the most power. So I'm just gonna take 2. So just 1, 2. And then after your crossover, you're gonna take a huge one and you're gonna block with this leg. That's what it's called. You're keeping it nice and straight, just like this javelin is taped to it. Right? And you're gonna pivot almost and push off and throw. So it's gonna look like this. Over, over, big one, throw.